Currently, I have decided to tape a summer edition episode with my father. His name is Stan the Man. Usually, what all my friends call him, Stan the Man. Most people in his life call him Coach. He is a football coach by profession. He is a guy's guy, raised two girls, no boys. And he's given me actually a lot of harsh advice, good advice, bad advice to my friends, to me, to anyone that will probably want it, to my sister. And so, anyways, introducing Stan. Say hello to the crowd.
Hey, Care. How's it going?
Stan is going to start his football season soon. He lives in Montreal, and he's coaching still part-time at the college level. So he's also been exposed to a lot of young 20-year-old guys who obviously currently use dating apps out of Montreal, not Toronto. And I'm sure that you've heard some stories.
A
few stories from
the
guys.
Yeah, they don't like to share too much of that kind of thing with their coach, but
do you overhear anything in the locker room?
Yeah, sort of hear rumors and this, that, and the other thing, but nothing. No one sat down and specifically told me, hey, coach, I'm doing this and I'm doing that.
Are they fun? Is it fun? Anything funny you've ever heard?
Well, I just find them generally as a group they're funny. Sometimes funny, haha. Sometimes funny. Oh, are you kidding?
And these are early 20s. These guys.
Well, they're ages 17 through 21.
Okay, so like prime getting into dating, probably not so much more me and my friends.
Now, don't forget, we're out of college, so there are a lot of girls there already.
That's right.
So.
But I was trying to explain to my dad one day that Tinder, well, mostly Tinder, which is probably predominant for the younger demographic, also because it's very, very popular, that I'm sure that a lot of young people use it and set their radius to within 1 or 2 kilometers when they're at school, even when they're in class and on campus, a bunch of profiles come up.
I don't know. I don't know that.
Not sure.
I certainly could ask, but I don't know the answer to that.
Okay. So my dad, I guess, for a lot of my girlfriends growing up, I had a really close group of girlfriends. We all dated, some of us more frequently than others, as you guys know, which I've probably said to you. I've been in 3 pretty serious relationships in my life, starting at 14 years old. 14 to 20 was one, 22 to 25 was another, 26 to 31 was the third. And after each one of my relationships, no doubt, I have felt that my world was over. I thought everything was ending. I didn't know how to go on. Couldn't believe that we broke up. It's been so long. I thought I was going to marry him. Through all 3 of them, of course.
That's pretty normal, though.
Sure. Very, very normal to feel that way. This episode does not pertain strictly to women and girls out there. I think, guys, you'll probably love what Coach has to say, but it is a lot of... my dad was very... when I was sad and didn't really want to do anything, I got pretty straight advice from you, no?
Yeah. I'm a guy.
First question.
Yeah.
How long do you think someone should take to move on from a breakup?
How long should they take?
Yeah, what do you think is an appropriate time for someone to start to move forward? How long should they mourn a relationship for?
Well, not that. Well, I mean, breaking up in a relationship, depending upon how serious it is, and I'm being serious here, is a little bit like death, right? Death in a family.
Right. Something is ending.
Yeah.
Hence why we all feel that life is over.
Yeah, there's some finality to all that stuff. So
are you more of a okay, it's not the end of the world, let's move forward? That's how you've been with me and my girlfriends.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, certainly there's an appropriate amount of time. I guess my answer would be you can take too much time.
Yeah.
And you can debilitate yourself, and then you'll never go out and meet people, and you'll just sort of, sit at home in your undershirt.
Yeah. For sure. I think a lot of us did that for a long time.
And a lot of the breakup, I think, with young folks is it's more feeling bad about themselves than it is feeling bad about anything else. So,
Sure.
like,
You always think it's the other person's fault, though, that makes
yeah,
the reason that you
I
feel
know.
so
And
terrible.
listen, there's you, there's them, and there's somewhere in the middle is the truth. So get over yourself and move along. You know, stop
Like
it.
it's that easy, guys. It's that easy.
No, it's not that easy, but
It's what we, yeah.
do what
So
you do. Get going.
that's true. There's a lot of people out there, as we all know. We don't feel like there is, but there are a lot of new people out there. We came up with a segment to do with you today.
Yeah.
It's called Date Him, Don't Date Him.
Yeah.
I've had too many girlfriends come to me with scenarios where they're unsure if they should go on a second, third, fourth date, and then they lay out the scenario. And,
Yeah.
you know, we kind of try and battle both sides. Should you keep going? Should you not? I don't know, because the first impression that someone gives off in a first date nowadays is probably pretty different from the first dates you went on, where you were courting women respectfully, and now it's all different.
So now they don't court respectfully?
No, a lot of people
Wow.
don't, and that's a big concern with my girlfriends and I.
No kidding.
And guys too, because they don't feel like, it's not that they're being selfish or that they don't want to court her or, you know, pay for everything, but there are different rules now. And sometimes it's not always that the man needs to pay for everything. Sometimes the woman doesn't like that. Like, you never know. There's so many different.
No, I understand that.
Plus, with dating apps nowadays, or with dating apps now,
You can lie.
you can lie about so much.
I
So many
know.
people lie already
I
about
know,
so
I know,
much.
I know.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go through.
By the way, the young guys today, a lot of them are real. They're morons. I mean, come on, let's get serious.
Oh, they are. How come they're morons?
Well,
Tell us
because-
why guys are morons.
Well,
now.
because of some of the very reasons that you're talking about. I mean, they lie, they cheat, they're dishonest. They don't behave as gentlemen. They're in it for all the wrong reasons. They're in it for selfish reasons, and
Was that not so predominant when you were
not at
dating?
all. No, because as you say, different world. My mother was always home.
Yeah.
My father worked, so there was always someone in my home whenever I got home from school or whenever.
When you were dating, though, did you always have that, I'm looking for a wife when I date?
No.
It was just a here and now, let's see where this goes kind of thing?
Yeah, I was very involved in sport, right? So
Okay.
my time was taken up with doing a lot of other stuff. I didn't even, frankly, I didn't even think about it.
And you just met mom, and how many years now have you guys been married?
40.
40 years.
Yeah.
God, you must be 100.
Thanks a lot. Yeah,
Okay, first scenario, date him, don't date him.
right.
First scenario, you're on a first date. At the end of the first date, the guy tells the girl, these are all from the perspective of the woman, okay?
Mhm.
So these are all girlfriends of mine that contemplate dating him again or not dating him
Okay.
again. He said to her, I'm going to be a father in 3 months. She said, okay, what does that mean? He said, I broke up with my partner 6 months ago, but she got pregnant right before we broke up. So I am going to be a father, but I am single, and we've had a great time. Date him again or don't date him again?
No,
Why not?
not happening. Because he has a commitment. He's got a commitment somewhere else, and if he's a for real guy,
Yeah.
he should make the commitment to his newborn child and see that commitment through before he doubly commits himself somewhere else.
So him dating, even though he broke up with his partner 6 months ago, him dating, he shouldn't really be dating right now?
Well,
Like looking to meet someone still? Should he have put that on hold because there's obviously something else
I
happening?
mean, he's only broken up 6 months. 6 months is not a long time.
Right. An
So-
unplanned pregnancy, though, is also things that happen without.
Oh, you didn't say it was unplanned.
Oh, he said she got pregnant right before they broke up. So, yeah, I'm assuming it was
Okay.
unplanned. They were
Okay.
not planning
Okay.
on being together.
It was unplanned, but it's half his fault.
That's right. So, not the most responsible I'd take away from that.
He's not the most responsible guy, and I don't think I'd date him a second time. I'd say, hey, pal, take care of your business. You got
Yeah.
business to take care of. Take care of your business. Once you take care of your business, we'll talk again.
Then we can talk. So, don't date him.
No.
Second scenario, you meet a guy, you go meet him on your first date, you guys have talked for a while, you know that he's got a good career in line, he is smart, he's funny, he's everything that you've been looking for. You go out on a first date, and he tells you throughout the night that 10 years ago he was in jail for a year.
Okay.
Date him again or don't date him again?
What was he in jail for?
I don't really think we should say, but it wasn't something.
I mean, let's put it.
It was 1 year.
Did
So
he? Did he kill?
no,
Obviously
he
didn't kill
obviously
anybody.
didn't kill anyone because it was 1 year.
Okay,
So
I
he,
mean that
you
could
know,
have been that could have been
like he stole something.
yeah.
Or,
I mean, or it could have been a third. If he's in the States, it could have been a second marijuana
charge or something
like that. So of course you date him again.
you date him again.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I mean,
He's
1
back
year.
on track.
I mean,
Everything's good.
Yeah, it could be anything. I mean, he could have. Maybe he had 1,000 unpaid parking tickets, and the judge sent him to jail. Guy made a mistake. That's okay.
That's okay. So date him.
Sure,
We date him.
of course.
Third scenario, you met a great guy again. These all lead off with great guys, right? Because you go on a first date with someone because you've been chatting so far, you like his profile, he likes your profile, you've been chatting a little bit, you want to meet in person because it feels like it's going to be something, this could be something nice,
Yeah.
right? So you've met a great guy.
Hey, first dates, everybody's putting their best foot forward,
That's
right?
true. Like you said, anyone can be whatever it is that they want to be at any point in time.
That's right.
So you met a great guy. You know that he has a roommate, and he tells you that his roommate is his ex-girlfriend. But they broke up years ago, and they're just friends now.
Yeah, right. Sure.
You date him or don't date him?
Not a chance.
Not a
Are
chance?
you kidding me?
I mean, because I've only had male roommates up until now. I've got a female roommate now, but I've only had male roommates or lived with my partner.
Yeah, but they weren't your
who were male.
ex-boyfriends, and you didn't break up with them, and you weren't just friends.
That's true.
I mean, come on. Of course you don't
So
date
no
her.
chance.
Yeah,
We do
no,
not date that guy.
Not a chance.
Not a chance. So he's out.
He's done.
Okay. Next scenario.
I'd say move out. Move out from your ex-girlfriend.
Yeah.
He
live
says
alone. They're
alone.
just really good friends,
Yeah,
and
sure.
they broke up
just
years
good
ago.
friends. Exactly.
Full of shit. All right.
Exactly.
Full of shit. We need a buzzer on this show. First date. It's come up in past episodes that we've discussed drinking on a first date.
Yep.
Some people do drink, some people don't.
Mhm.
Some people want to have a drink to ease the nerves.
Yep.
Some people don't want to drink because they feel like your personality could be altered or swayed in a different way. And some people just don't drink at all. So you go on a first date, you decide as the woman to have one drink,
Yep.
one glass of wine.
Yep.
He decides, whether it's planned or unplanned, to have 6 drinks, and he gets smashed. She felt it was maybe he was nervous, and he ended up having too much to drink. You date him again or you don't date him again?
Ooh, that's a tough one. That's a tough one.
It is tough. We went back and forth on it because people do make mistakes with alcohol all the time.
Sure.
We've been at weddings where guys are nervous meeting all their girlfriend's family or whatever,
Yeah.
and all those things.
Well, I think that if the person doesn't have that much self-control and goes like that on the date, I'd say, ooh, I'd have some question marks in the back of my head.
Now, if he apologized profusely, says
You mean
that's
when he
so
sobers
not
up,
him.
when he sobers up?
That's right.
Okay.
It's a debate on
Well,
do we take him
if he does
seriously or
that,
is he just going to do it again? Or
Well, if he does that,
yeah,
then and he apologizes profusely the next day, I'd give him a break.
yeah.
I'd cut him a little slack, and I'd say, okay, we're going to do this again, but guess what, pal? You're not drinking on this one.
And see how he
See
works
how it goes.
out.
Yeah, see how it goes.
So again, yeah, it is really tough because it can be so unattractive when someone is so drunk.
Yeah, but
And
what
you're
kind of
meeting
person
them-
meets somebody for the first time you think you might want to date him and gets blasted?
Because alcohol is a relaxant and it's a personality enhancer, as we've pretty much learned in a lot
Yeah,
of the ways.
I know. We all dance better.
We all dance better.
With vodka, right? Yeah.
That's right. Like I'm the best ever when I have 3 drinks in
Yeah,
me.
but you know what? If you have to put that much booze in yourself to bolster your own self-confidence, ooh, I'm not so sure.
Might not date him again.
Might
So
not.
that's a debate, though. Date him, don't date him. It's up to you at that point.
If he does phone back and he begs forgiveness, give him a second chance. And if I'd say no booze on this one, and see how it works out. Then you got to go from there.
Okay. Next scenario. This one actually pertains to you a little bit more because it involves someone who's pretty athletic herself,
Mm-hmm.
and she was obviously interested in a guy who claimed that he was very interested in sports as
Yep.
well. His knowledge seemed to be through the roof when they were texting, and
Okay.
so they found a commonality in that sense. And a lot of his profile description was that he was really into sports.
Yep.
So she decided to go out with him in
Good.
person. She
Good.
met him,
Good.
only to find out that he has never physically played a sport in his life.
Now, did he say he played sport, or did he just have knowledge of sport?
He didn't say that he played sports to her. She assumed, probably mistake number one, because he said he was so into sports. He didn't say, "Oh, I study sports and I know everything about its stats only." He just said, "I'm so into sports." And then they started chatting, and then they knew that they both watched, the NBA Finals this year, which were really exciting.
He
and
was
they
a
both
fan.
watched.
He was a fan.
More of like a crazy fan, and
He wasn't a
showed up. He
participant.
was
He was
not athletic,
He was a fan.
and he didn't play any sports.
Okay.
Do you date him or don't date him?
Sure, you date him. Of course, you date him. Just because he doesn't play, big deal.
So even though she is really into it, it wouldn't be that just because he doesn't play sports, they don't have anything in common.
They have lots in common. His knowledge of sport. He's a fan. So they've
Okay.
got lots to talk about. Now, what she may wish to do is encourage him to become a participant as
Okay.
opposed to a fan. Now you're traveling down a road together. That's cool. I'd date him for sure.
Date him again.
Absolutely.
Actually, that makes a lot of sense. Of course, it would actually be like an area that you could propose that you start working on something together.
You
like
got
a
it.
new-
Even if it's only like, cross fitness or, fitness training or whatever.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Okay, so we would date him.
Absolutely we would.
Next scenario: first date. You meet him. He's great. Everything's awesome. Conversation is, he's good looking. He's all everything. Of course, all these
Sounds a
scenarios
lot like
turn
a
out that way.
younger me.
Yeah, yeah, right. We should note that Dad was quarterback of his university football team growing up. So I'm going to go ahead and say you didn't not get attention from women growing up, did you?
No, I had attention.
Yeah?
I mean, I didn't pay much attention to it, but yeah, I had attention.
Is this the image you want to give off right now? 40 years of marriage.
Yeah, baby.
You've
No,
been-
I mean,
you've only been with Mom, right?
yes, sir.
Just one person.
Actually, you know what? I have.
You told me once you had one other girlfriend.
Well, I had a girlfriend in high school.
Can you guys imagine only having one relationship only now? It's not, I don't know anybody that has. I had one really, really close friend who had only ever been with his wife because they had been together since grade 9 in high school. And it was a really beautiful story between the two of them. But I want to go ahead and say they had a lot of trials and tribulations throughout their relationship, having never explored what else they might like in life.
Of course, you have trials and tribulations. Everybody does, even if you haven't been together for a long time.
Yeah.
That's the nature of the beast.
So you're on a first date. He says that he is moving out of the country in 3 months. So he's had something planned already before you met him. He told you flat out at the beginning that he made these plans, obviously, while he was single.
Yep.
Probably got a job in another country,
Yep.
but he's not leaving for 3 months.
Yep.
And everything's great.
Yep.
And he's awesome.
Yep.
Date him or don't date him?
Sure, you date him. See where it goes.
Are you
Why wouldn't you?
Are you setting yourself up
Just
for
because he's-
failure right away because he's leaving anyways?
Well, I don't know about failure.
Heartbreak, I mean. Sorry,
I think
it's not
failure's
failure. It's heartbreak.
Heartbreak. But I mean, if you're going to like him that much or be enthralled with him that much, then you're going to find a way.
That, you know what? That's what I said, because I don't want to discard the fact that I was with someone who had to leave the country for a long time, and it was really hard because I met him
Sure.
3 months before he was leaving. This
Yep.
is not obviously my scenario. I know it's pretty common that people make life plans before they
They do.
meet the person they want to be with.
They do.
And so I took a chance with it, and I think I was more fortunate that we found a way to make it work that way. But it was the most difficult challenge so soon into meeting someone and starting to fall for them, that all of a sudden they're not there anymore. So 3 months in is usually that, and everything's going well, you end up spending more and more time together, right?
Yep.
And so when you're put in a scenario where someone's got a plan and you want to support them because you would want that support back, you have to somehow be okay with him and having that attention and the time you spent together snatched away quickly, and still maintain
Well,
having the
snatched away
relationship
quickly. I mean,
built.
you've known for 3 months that this is coming.
Well,
That's not that quick.
That's true.
You've
I
known.
know that's true,
It's
and
not
you've
like
known, but
it's not like you meet him on Friday and you spend Saturday and Sunday together, and then on Monday he says, "Oh, by the way."
yeah, but think about how many people, when you're having so much fun, I know that I did this as well. I was so smitten that as much as you know that he's leaving, you don't want to accept it when it's going so well, because you decided to spend all this time. Decided to continue spending time together.
Yeah, I understand that.
So you're still in shock, although you've been prepared. You're still in shock.
But I gotta tell you, people get married, and then the husband or the wife have a job that takes them away from the home for long periods of time.
Yeah,
I mean, what's the difference?
that's true. Well, I guess the question for this is that it's so soon from meeting someone so great that it's like you have to make this decision. You feel like you need to make a heavy decision right off the bat, and you've just been on, 1 or 2 dates with him.
Yeah. So here's one of my when you were younger, and I would be so frank with you. Here's one of my be frank. Suck it up, Buttercup.
Okay.
It's either make the decision, make it. Make it.
And stick with it.
Don't beat around. Make a decision. Don't waffle on it.
It's really scary to do that.
Of course it's scary. Life is scary. Get over yourself.
I know that we all know that, but saying it is one thing and doing it is another.
Absolutely it is. Absolutely it is. And that's what makes you stronger, and that's what makes you better as a person.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, yeah, okay, the person's going away. Okay, we know that.
Again.
We know that. And you know what?
Be aware of what's happening.
Yeah. And it might not work out.
Yeah.
It might not work out.
Anything might not work out, though.
You got
I think
it.
that's what a lot of us are really, really scared of. We're really scared that, especially me in my 30s, what makes me so scared now is wanting something to be a certain way and having it actually be that way are two different things. I think in the past I've sort of really wanted something to be the way that I wanted it to be, and so I held out hope that it was going to get there instead of actually paying attention to what it really was in that moment.
That's right.
And in that present time. So it's really scary, though, taking a chance on someone going like, okay, I want to go out with him again and I'm going to like him more, and then he's going to leave.
So let me get this right. You're going to like him more. You've made up your mind already that you're going to like him more before you even like him?
Well, if the first date goes really well, you want to see him again.
Okay.
It's you figure out a lot about someone in 3 months.
If you're really unsure, at the end of each month, you sort of sit down and you go, okay, let's talk about this because we got 2 months left to go. At the end of 2 months, you sit down and you say, okay.
A lot of people don't want to have those serious chats, though.
Well, that's on them, though. That's on them.
Yeah.
They have no one to blame but themselves.
Be a man.
Well, it's not so much that. I mean, you have to evaluate your situation together. I mean, stop already. You're killing me. Don't go 3 months blind.
That's
and
true.
then suddenly he's gone. You go, oh, I'm so sad.
It's true,
no. Of
though.
course, I know it's true.
Sad.
I know you're sad. But at the end of a month, you go, okay, where are we in this now? Are we good?
Yeah.
Are we no good?
Thick can be tough. If you think you can handle it, ladies, date him again.
For sure.
Because anything could happen.
That's right.
Okay, next scenario. Someone my age, early 30s. Again, we're on that.
Are you 30?
Yeah, that makes you 150.
My
then.
God.
You've been married to Mom for 40.
I know.
You go out on a date with someone. He's really great. You're early 30s, and he tells you that he's been divorced already once.
Okay.
Date him or don't date him again?
He's been divorced already once.
Yeah.
Well, I'd have to find out why. I mean, you got to ask a few questions.
Yes, but at the same time, when you're asking those questions, which I think a lot of us do, or a lot of us forget to be reminded of, is that you are getting one side of the story.
Yes, you are.
So you can choose to believe what he says.
Yep.
And forget about the fact that there is another side, and it could be completely different than what the reality of it was.
Could be.
So divorced once is a date him, don't date him. I'm not sure. Divorced twice, red flags might be going up.
Nevertheless, divorced once, I'd still ask questions, and yeah, you might not get the real answer.
Yeah.
In which case, if you get an answer that you're satisfied with, you date them. Then, however, you might find out that, ooh, I don't know that he was telling the truth when he gave me all these answers as you go along with your dating life with him.
Yeah.
And at which case you're going to have to say, hey, good to see you. Bye-bye, divorce boy.
Beat it, pal.
Beat it, pal.
I mean, because a lot of people my age now are divorced once. They got married very young, or for another reason, like they had a baby really young, or whatever it was.
That's a whole nother story on your podcast, though.
True.
The whole divorce thing. I mean,
it's a battle we fight a lot now, because being 30 now is treated a lot differently than when you were 30. You had been married to mom for how many years when you were 30?
a lot.
25 years already.
I was 22 years old when we got married.
Okay, so like, whoa. I am 10 years older than that now.
Yeah.
I have not been married.
Nope.
You had us by that point as well.
Yeah.
So very, very different.
Yeah, well, life is different now. It's not the same.
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't have cell phones. We didn't have computers. Computers were just beginning in the 70s. I mean, the world was not this. There was no globalization. I mean, it was very different.
For sure.
I mean, there was no Donald Trump.
Is there anything in the way people date now, or our outlets to dating others now, and the way we meet people now, is there any point of it that you wish was present when you were younger? Are there any tools that you wish you had at your fingertips that you would have found interesting in dating and meeting someone?
The dating, I have to say.
But do you think it's kind of interesting, the fact that we have dating apps now that you can literally calculate?
I find that interesting. Yeah, I do find it interesting. I don't wish I had it at the time.
In a negative or in a positive way?
I find it interesting in a positive way.
Okay.
Well, I find it interesting in both ways, because I think one of the things that, the information technology age has done is it's eroded a lot of interpersonal skill amongst people.
Yes.
People don't talk. People don't sit down and do face-to-face. People,
No,
the cell phone has changed the world today.
I think that's why, which we talked about in other episodes as well, that it kind of means more now when someone uses the word, I'd like to take you out on a date.
Sure.
It's so uncommon. It's let's hang out. Let's go grab a drink.
Yeah.
And it creates this blurry area
Well,
that you're not sure.
Yeah, the language is casual.
The language is so casual that it confuses us right off the bat.
Yeah.
So it's crazy, because you would have never said things like that when you were younger. It's, would you like to go out on a date with me?
That's right.
And I'm taking her out on a date, or
That's right.
This is our fourth date, or
I mean, if we were going to hang out, it was guys with hanging out with guys.
it was groups.
Yeah.
Okay, well, last question. I want to close off with this, because I think you used to tell my girlfriends and I growing up, of course, to ask questions all the time. And when you'd come in and we'd be hanging out at the house, and you'd say, hey, ladies, like, what's going on with the boys lately? Who's got what going on with what guy? And my girlfriends would open up to you always. They felt good with Coach all the time. And so they'd say, oh, I'm waiting for him to call me back, or we've been out a few times and I don't really know, like, if he likes me or not, or I'm not really sure if he's really awesome, but he was really awesome yesterday, but today I didn't hear from him, stuff like that. And you used to tell us to just get rid of him. Either get rid of him, or take a bit of time, or what you should probably do is ask him this, or hold off and see if he does this, or whatever it is. So my question to you is, what kind of questions should we, as the woman or young lady, be asking someone on a first date now, having only met them via text and seeing their profile? So if you put yourself in my shoes, you're going on a date for the first time, 30-something years old, I've talked to him over text for a little while, he seems really cool. What would you tell me that I should be asking him?
Well, I'd be asking him about his job.
Okay.
His background. I'd be asking him about his family.
Family.
Of course. I'd be asking him about what his hobbies are, what activities he likes to do,
Yeah.
that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I'd be asking him about, have you had any other girl? Did you?
Oh, so you would ask about past relationships
Sure,
and
why
stuff.
not?
Even on the first meeting. I know a lot of people that, and I would be too. I'd be a little nervous to ask about someone's dating history so soon, but the whole time I want to know about it.
Well, I mean, you can kind of, well, if it were me, because you're dating as a result of an app,
Yeah.
you might want to say,
Keep in mind, guys, Coach is pretty up to date on Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter.
yeah,
He has plugged himself into our social media age, and so the dating apps for him, they're not totally obscure, but I mean, he doesn't use it, obviously.
no, I don't think so.
Right, Mom? Oh, Mom's not listening.
But I would say, have you used the app a lot? I mean, have you been?
How long have you been dating on an
Yeah.
app for?
How long have you been?
Would you
on-
ask what other apps he uses? Because
Sure, why
we have
not?
talked about how certain apps pertain to certain things.
Yeah. Do you use any other apps? Have you dated on any other apps? Have you met some interesting people? And
Now, what if he or she says, "Oh, I've been dating online for 5 years,"
hmm
or "I've only been dating online for 5 months."
Yep.
What sort of impression? What's the difference in impressions there?
Well, 5 years. I mean, I don't know that I would say it to the person, but I'd say 5 years and you haven't met anybody yet, huh? Wow.
Now,
5 years, 5 months.
there are
Okay,
a lot
you're
of people though who have been dating on apps for 5 years. You have met people.
yeah, but
You
you're
have dated for 5 months, let's say. And then
5
it's
years.
over.
You're probably pretty picky.
At this point, 5 years, you're pretty picky.
And how old is this person I'm talking to?
It could be anywhere from 20 to 45 years old, 50
Yeah.
years old.
So, the younger they are, probably the less picky they are, but the older they get, probably the more particular they are.
So, some other challenges that some of my close friends and I have had are that you think you know what it is that you like, and you think you know what it is that you're looking for in someone and in their profiles. You swipe right on them, you connect, you go out for a date, and he's nothing what you expected. Should you change your specifics to what you're swiping on?
No.
Stick to what it is that you still
Well,
think
if
you
you-
want,
yeah,
even
of
if
course.
track record shows it hasn't been working out so far.
Well,
Let's say I'm really into a guy that's groomed, right?
yeah.
I go out with him, he looks really good, and he is really groomed, and then I meet him and he sucks. Our personalities don't click, it's not what I wanted, we don't have the same interests at all, blah, blah, blah. And then I go out with another guy, he's groomed too, but we also have things in common. But then something else is really bad. It turns out that groomed people aren't exactly.
Yeah, but I have to assume grooming is not the only criteria. Otherwise you're going to be disappointed. Well-groomed guys can be dolts too.
Yeah, there's so many duds.
I mean, you've got to have a few criteria there, right? Rather than
Yeah.
just grooming. I mean, good manners, politeness.
I think we're all looking for that
active.
guy that has, or that man or that woman that ticks off all the boxes.
Yeah, well, you're not going to find a perfect person.
But
sorry,
that doesn't, I mean,
you
perfect.
can't marry your father. Sorry.
Oh, excuse me. Do you find that people treat dating and marriage to the same level of commitment and importance as they did in your day now?
I don't think so. No.
I mean, our divorce rates are so high.
Yeah, I
People
think
call it quits
yeah, and
real
again,
quickly.
this is another show for you, but divorce is just too easy. It's too easy a thing. Commitment today is not at the level that it was in anything.
Do you think that dating apps have anything to do with that?
That's part of it. Yeah,
You do.
I do. It's so easy to find somebody and trash them.
Yeah.
Get somebody else. Don't like it, trash that. There's nobody. You don't have to work that
Our
hard.
first episode, disposable culture.
You got it. You don't have to work that hard at anything anymore. Really.
It's
I shouldn't
very
say you
easy.
don't have to work that hard.
Yeah.
If you really want to achieve, you have to work hard. However, society today and the way things have moved, it has taught people that you don't have to work hard and you can achieve to a reasonable level, or you can attain to a reasonable
That's
level.
right.
And that's
It's
too bad.
unfortunate, actually.
It's very.
I want to thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
We had a great time.
Yes,
Did
we
you
did.
have fun?
I had fun.
Sound off, guys, if you like Stan the Man. Date him, don't date him. How did you feel about that segment?
Excellent.
You like it?
Awesome. When am I coming
we're-
back here?
I think we're going to keep it.
When are we coming back?
We'll have you on for another episode based on all the emails I get from those that either say trash him
Trash him.
or keep him.
Keep them.
We appreciate you being here. Come to obviously hit us up on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all at the Swipe Effect, and email me. Of course, all these scenarios we had from Date 'em, Don't Date 'em today came from some really awesome emails from some really, really, really cool people. I hope that you guys keep sending them. We are having a really, really good time with it. So email me at the Swipe Effect, all one word, at gmail.com. And anything else you want me to ask Dan in the future, send me an email. We'll get him on the phone.
Right on.
We'll call you.
Right on.
Thanks, Dad.
Coach out.